Today, we're going to talk about a super simple technique that can seriously upgrade your AI's game, transforming it from a generic machine into a specialized expert. Let's dive into mastering role-based prompting. So, have you ever asked an AI for help and the answer you get back is just so dry, so generic, and honestly totally unhelpful? It's a really common problem. You're looking for a creative partner, maybe a patient tutor, but what you get is this wall of text that feels like it was ripped straight out of a dusty old manual. Well, the good news is we are going to fix that today. You actually have the power to turn that generic AI into the exact expert you need for pretty much any task, whether that's a mentor, a project manager, or heck, even a pirate storyteller. Okay, so let's break down this simple but really powerful trick. It's called role-based prompting, and trust me, it's the key to getting way more specific, useful, and, human-like responses from your AI. So, what is it exactly? Well, it's pretty much as simple as it sounds. You just start your prompt by giving the AI a job. You tell it who to be. Are you talking to a friendly tutor, a sharp marketing expert, an experienced career coach? That one little instruction at the beginning sets the stage for everything that comes next. So how does this even work? You're not actually teaching the AI anything new. What you're doing is activating patterns it already knows from the millions of texts it's read from real-world professionals. So by giving it a role, you're helping it narrow its focus. You're telling it exactly which part of its massive brain to use. When you say, act as a doctor, it taps into the specific communication style, the tone, and the knowledge it already associates with doctors. All right, you ready to take control? It really just takes 4 simple steps to build the perfect role-based prompt. Let's walk through them right now. Okay, first, just decide what kind of expert would give you the best possible answer. Second, state that role really clearly. Just start with, you are A or act as A. Third, add your specific task or your question. And finally, number 4, you can get even more specific by telling it the tone and format you want, like be friendly and encouraging, or put the answer in short bullet points. Theory is great and all, but let's see how this actually works in the real world. I'm going to show you a few examples that really show how just one little line at the start of your prompt can completely change the entire result. All right, let's start with a classic school scenario. Imagine you're a student and you are just not getting a math concept, like adding fractions. A generic explanation might honestly just make things more confusing. Now, look at this prompt. By defining the role as a friendly math tutor for a struggling 14-year-old, we're basically setting the AI up for success. We're not just asking for an answer, we're asking for a patient, clear, and perfectly targeted explanation. The exact opposite of some dense textbook definition. Okay, let's switch gears to a more professional example. Let's say you're thinking about a big career change. You don't just want a list of facts, you want some real, personalized guidance. This is fantastic. By telling the AI to act as an experienced career coach, we're not just going to get a list of jobs. We're prompting an actual interactive conversation. The AI will ask us questions first, just like a real coach would, before it offers up that tailored, supportive advice. How about a creative task? Say you need to sell a product. That requires a very specific style of writing, something that really grabs people's attention. See, right here, the role of creative marketing copywriter immediately shifts the AI's focus. It's not just listing features anymore, it's creating persuasive, energetic writing. We've also guided the tone and the structure, making sure it ends with a call to action to help drive results. And hey, this technique isn't just for serious professional or academic stuff. This is where you can get really creative and just have some fun. I absolutely love this example. By creating a persona like a sarcastic history teacher, you can get an explanation of a pretty complex topic that's both factually accurate and genuinely entertaining. It's a brilliant way to make learning actually stick. Now, as powerful as this technique is, there are a few simple traps that people tend to fall into. So let's quickly go over the most common mistakes and, more importantly, how you can easily avoid them. Okay, the biggest mistake by far is just being too vague. Don't just say expert. You gotta specify what kind of expert, like a high school physics teacher. Another common one is forgetting your audience. Always tell the AI who it's talking to: a beginner, a patient, a potential customer. And finally, make sure your instructions don't contradict each other. Asking a strict editor to use an overly friendly tone is just gonna confuse the AI. You gotta keep the role and the tone aligned. All right, now it's your turn. The absolute best way to get comfortable with this is to just start experimenting yourself. Here are 2 really simple tasks to get you started. First, pick something you're curious about and ask a patient teacher to explain it to you like you're a complete beginner. Second, take an email or a document you've written and ask a professional editor to help you improve its clarity and flow. So look, if there's one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. That single line, "You are a," at the very beginning of your prompt is the most powerful tool you have for shaping the AI's response. It's a game changer. It gives you total control over tone, style, and expertise. So the only question left is, what kind of expert are you going to create first?